Born in 9 Miles, St. Anne, Jamaica, on February 6, 1945, and passing away in Miami, Florida, on May 11, 1981, Bob Marley was a Jamaican singer-songwriter whose careful blending of early ska, rock-steady, and reggae music forms blossomed in the 19th. In December 1963, the Wailers entered Coxsone Dodd's Studio One facilities to cut Simmer Down, a song by Marley that he had used to win a talent contest in Kingston. Unlike the playful mento music that drifted from the porches of local tourist hotels, or the pop and rhythm and blues filtering into Jamaica from American radio stations, Simmer Down was an urgent anthem from the shantytown precincts of the Kingston underclass. A huge overnight smash, it played an important role in recasting the agenda for stardom in Jamaican music circles. No longer did one have to parrot the stylings of overseas entertainers. It was possible to write raw, uncompromising songs for and about disenfranchised, poverty-stricken West Indians. This bold stance transformed both Marley and his island nation, engendering the urban poor with a pride that would become a pronounced source of identity and a catalyst for class-related tension in Jamaican culture. A revolution in Jamaican identity was also forged through the Wailers' Rastafari faith, a creed popular among the impoverished people of the Caribbean who worshipped the late Ethiopian emperor Haile Selassie I as the African Redeemer foretold in popular quasi-biblical prophecy. The Wailers did well in Jamaica during the mid-1960s with their ska records, even during Marley's sojourn to Delaware in 1966 to visit his relocated mother and find temporary work.
He was a country boy, very, very simple, very unsophisticated. He might have acquired a bit of sophistication later on as he became famous, but when I met him, he was totally, where we thought was total innocent. That's why I thought it was unbelievable that he had children. I thought of him as a little boy. But I wouldn't say that he was a sophisticated, educated person. It's just that we Jamaicans are full of sayings and metaphors. For example, when he said to me, we were writing I Shot the Sheriff, and he said, no, just, I want something for the Jamaicans. No, let's get out, so come up with something for the Jamaicans. I could just immediately say, well, if you shot the guy and he's been bothering you all this time, well, the thing is, every day bucket a go, well, one day the butter must drop out. Well, it's just a Jamaican thing. We say that all the time. It means, every day you're messing with me, one day you're going to get it.
One, with producer Lee Perry, increased the contempt album conceived as more than a mere singles compilation. Their uniquely rock-contoured reggae gained a global audience. It also earned the charismatic Marley superstar status, which gradually led to the dissolution of the original triumvirate about early 1974. Although Peter Tosh would enjoy a distinguished solo career before his murder in 1987, many of his best solo albums, such as Equal Rights,
when he's singing, he's fighting a war, but it's one that it was not obvious, because he speaks about spiritual wickedness in high and low places where you don't see everything that's wrong, but it's there. And so Bob felt he had to fight this.
As we celebrate Bob Marley's 80th birthday, it's clear that his legacy continues to resonate with people all around the world. Through his music, messages of peace, love, and unity, Marley transcended generations, races, and borders. His influence on reggae, culture, and activism is undeniable, and his timeless songs remain anthems for freedom. To Bob Marley, whose 80 years on earth have made an eternal impact on music and society.